What's up, y'all? I just watched the movie. It's oh, you can't see that shit. Wait a minute. More specifically, I just watched the Blu-ray of that. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Can you see it now? The Mummy. I'm gonna just try and talk about this movie. Oh, you get back in your, go back to your home. Go back to your home, fucking disc. I returned that to the red box. So I figured I'd put on my seatbelt so I could be safe. Alright, fucking truck, what? Oh. Anyway. What? Why does it feel like I'm driving? Oh. It helps if you take the brake off. Anyway. Wow. Yeah, great GoPro stand. So, if you don't know, this movie is made by Universal Studios, and what they're trying to do is make their own Marvel universe, but with all of the Universal Studios shit, like The Mummy and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and blah 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 and all the rest of it. So what did I think of this movie? All right, first of all, it stars Tom Cruise as the main dude, and that chick, Sophia Patella, I believe is her name. Damn, if I got her name right, I'll be really proud of myself. I'm horrible with movie names. If you listen to my podcast, you know that. Sophia Patella, I think is her name. She's Argentinian, skinny, beautiful, dancing woman who's very flexible, and she was in Kingsman and Star Trek Beyond and some other shit. And I really like her. I really liked her in Kingsman. That was her star role for me. She was awesome in that movie. But anyway, so her and Tom Cruise are the leads in this, and it also has Kurt Russell. And basically, the plot of the story is Sophia Patella is from ancient Egypt or something, and like 1,000 million years ago, and she was going to be the queen of Egypt, but her dad ended up boning some other chick and having a son, which meant that she wasn't going to get to be the queen anymore because the son was going to get to be the king. And so she got pissed off and murdered her dad, and then killed the baby. And actually, there's a scene with that. It's a little bit dark, but yeah, she cuts up the baby and kills her dad, kills the dad's wife, and sells her soul to the devil to get power to be able to run Egypt and the world forever. And shit goes wrong, and they end up killing her and burying her in liquid mercury to keep her soul at bay or something. And later on, Tom Cruise and his blonde assistant, or some blonde woman, I don't even know who the fuck she was supposed to be. I know she was Kurt Russell's assistant or something. Anyway, he uncovers her tomb, and shenanigans happen, and Sophia Patella, who's called Aminette in the movie, comes back from the dead and starts fucking shit up and killing everybody, making zombies. Starts building a zombie army. I don't know where the fuck the zombies come from. But, yeah, anyway, that's what she does. She makes a zombie army and starts fucking up shit, and sandstorms and bugs everywhere and stuff. And so that's your plot of the movie. And Tom Cruise has to save the day. So, a few notes about this film. Number one, Tom Cruise, I don't know what it is with dudes named Tom, but Tom Cruise went the Tom Hardy route and got big ass muscly traps for this movie. If you don't know what traps are, it's this part of your body, like in between your neck and your shoulder, and it's like a really prominent muscle if you start lifting weights like Tom Hardy did, and his traps got to be this big. Well, Tom Cruise must have got on steroids or something for this movie, because his traps are this fucking big. And of course there's scenes with him with his shirt off, and he's shredded. He's definitely ripped up. And what is he, like 58, 60 years old or something? I'll give him props. He was in great shape, but I'm sure it wasn't all natural. But he was definitely swole. It was big ass traps. Dudes named Tom have big traps. Here's the thing with this movie. I fell asleep on this movie several times, which is rare for me. And I was tired, but it doesn't matter. Like, I'm such a movie dude that if a movie is holding my attention in the slightest, I won't fall asleep. Like, I'll be rubbing my eyes and shit and go get coffee and be into it. But I don't know. This movie really, really failed to hold my attention. Like, I really had to try hard to pay attention to it. Number one. Number two, oh, too much air conditioning. Number two, when I went to sleep last night, having finished like 2/3 of the movie, I woke up this morning to finish it, and when I turned it on, I was like, oh, wait a minute, where was I? And then I realized it doesn't matter. I really didn't give a shit where I stopped the movie. I just pressed play and just picked it up from right there. I didn't remember what I had saw. I didn't give a shit at all. The humor in this movie feels forced. It is forced. And it didn't make me laugh at all. Like, there was Tom Cruise's dead best friend who he shot, and he kept saying, you shot me, you shot me. And Tom Cruise was like, well, you stabbed me, you tried to kill Jenny. And it was like, yeah, but you shot me. And I can see where it's like they want to insert laugh here, and it just didn't work. So all the humor sucked. I never laughed once, not once. And that's the problem with this movie. I'm gonna get into more, but that's a big theme in this movie. That's a big theme in this movie. It's unsure of itself. It doesn't know what it wanted to be. If it wanted, I could see that they were trying to do like the shit with the original, with well, not the original, but the one with Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz. They were trying to like get the comedy elements of it, but the movie didn't feel like that movie. This movie feels like they were trying to be like super serious and scary, and then they threw the comedy in it too, and it just didn't work. Like, it just felt tonally completely off. So yeah, the tone of this movie was all over the place. It was schizophrenic. It was like a Gemini with 6 different faces. Isn't that what the Geminis, they have their like the horoscope sign? They're all multiple personality having weirdos, like my kid. Anyway, sorry. Like my Levi's hoodie, I got this at Marshall's for like $8 or something. Is it Levi's or just Coca-Cola? Yeah, Levi's. Like $8 or something. You can find some deals in Marshall sometimes. I like it. Anyway, so the humor was forced. The tone of the movie was all over the place. I fell asleep, which means it was just boring. Ultimately, it wasn't boring. I mean, there was a lot of shit happening. It was, it was a spectacular, but I just didn't care, and I don't know what that means. And I went into this with an open mind, by the way, because I like Tom Cruise for the most part, even though he's in that group with Julia Roberts and Denzel and Samuel L. Jackson of actors that I don't ever need to see again. Like, just move out of the way for somebody new, please. Like, the idea of star power is stupid to me. Just make a good movie. They were banking on Tom Cruise's star power to make this thing happen. And then they threw in all these other elements from the other movies, or from different movies. Like, they tried to throw in the humor and all the insects and all the things that worked about the Brendan Fraser movies. And then they try to tie it into this whole universe that they want to make. And in doing all this horse shit, they threw all these things in this pot and mixed it up. You can't do that. That's not how art works. You have to have a vision and an idea, put that down, and then tweak it until it's your version of perfection. This movie just feels like 28 different people throwing in fucking ideas, and then do that. Oh, we need lens flares. Okay, yeah, let me get to that. Yeah, the director of this movie, who is it? Alex Kurtzman. Never heard of him. I'm gonna look him up and find out his filmography, see what he's done. But I mean, this is a very professional looking movie, very high budget. Definitely excellent filming and shit going on. Very professional, but it seems like this dude, what is his name? Alex Kurtzman, had like Michael Bay and other directors whispering to him, add lens flares. Add lens flares. Like there's just so much shit going on in this movie, and it just makes it like Tom Cruise was the wrong dude for this movie. And like I said, I'm a Tom Cruise fan, but that dude doesn't do very many facial expressions. He's like Ben Stiller in Zoolander. Like he has like Magnum and Steel and Derelict. Like Tom Cruise's face doesn't move in ways to convey emotion. Wow, it's really raining. He doesn't make enough facial expressions to make you like, to suck you into a movie that's supposed to be like using emotions like fear and shit. I don't know. He didn't, at no point did I see fear on his face or sadness or remorse or anything. Tom Cruise basically does three faces: confused or confident or smiling, which just looks like confident. Then that's basically all you get out of his face. And I don't know. I don't know. For this movie, I needed to see a dude like his character was supposed to be. For example, his character was supposed to be this. They called him like evil incarnate, like soulless thief, asshole, piece of shit that the world hates, and that was the perfect vessel for Set, the god of death, to inhabit his body because he was already an evil piece of shit. At no point in the movie did I feel that at all. Like this movie starts and it's just action and shit, and he just does some sneaky shit. He like steals some shit, and he's smiling the whole time when he's stealing his shit. He's like, they never made me feel like he was this evil piece of shit that he was supposed to be, and half of that is because his face muscles don't work that way. Anyway, as far as like the actual filmography of this shit goes, this movie reminded me of the Transformers, like Michael Bay shit. Like, it's very, very well done, but it's totally out of place in this movie. There's like so many scenes where it's like really dark, and they use like low dim lit lighting to make everybody look sexy, and like everybody looks tan, and it's like it feels like you're on a date at a PF Chang's at night with you know, somebody, and everybody's dressed up and looking good under the low light, because everybody looks good in low light. And that's what it is. It's like they use low light to make everybody look good, but this is a fucking dusty Egypt, supposed to be scary zombie fucking end of the world movie. What the fuck? Why is everybody tan and sexy looking? It doesn't work. These techniques that they were using for the filming of this movie are beautiful, but they're not for this movie. This movie should have been dusty and grimy and hot. It should have made you feel hot every time Aminette was on the screen. Speaking of hot, Sophia Patel is definitely hot. She's sexy as shit in this movie, even with Band-Aid, even with all wrapped up in mummy shit. But what's the point of that? Okay, she's sexy, but she wasn't scary. Even the she had 4 pupils, and then at the end of the movie, Tom Cruise had 4 pupils in his eyes, and that was supposed to make you see that they're evil now. It didn't work. She wasn't scary. He wasn't scary. You see where I'm going here? Some of the fight stuff was cool. I'll give it that. There was a scene where Tom Cruise was fighting Kurt, what the hell's that dude's name? Russell Crowe. There was a scene where Tom Cruise was fighting Russell Crowe, and there was some couple of good moves in there. One of them will get tossed over here and smashed off of some shit, and the other one will get tossed over here and get his head busted off some shit, and it was very cool. And like there was a whole lot of Tom Cruise punching heads, punching his fist through head, like zombie heads, like through them, and like just holes. Yeah, they did some really cool fight shit, I'll give it that. And like when Amanette was fighting the blonde chick, and the blonde chick might have stabbed her or something, and Amanette grabbed her and she fucking launched that broad across. Oh, there was another scene at the end when Tom Cruise was fighting Amanette, and he grabbed her by her throat and she slapped him, and he threw her up against the wall and was on her. I mean, like, he threw her so fast and then went with her to the wall and got his hand back on her throat again, and I like punched her head in or something. I don't know. So the fight scenes were cool. Whoever did the fight choreography and all that shit was on point. And the CGI looked good mostly. Put it this way. The movie looked really good on 4K, or not 4K, on Blu-ray disc, on a 4K HDR TV, Samsung. And whenever it was bright. Whenever it was dark, it started to look kind of hazy, and I was like messing with the brightness settings on the TV. I was like, what the hell's going on? The CGI zombies, you know what? I was saying that it was good, but I'm gonna take that back. Those zombies were completely forgettable. All of the fucking, but it's not the CGI's fault, the CG's fault. It's just the design of the shit. It's just like, I don't know. We've seen zombies. If you want to see these zombies, watch I Am Legend with Will Smith. It's the same thing. Fast moving, scary zombies that are on you fast. But I mean, we've seen it before, and I don't know. I did like Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll, but when he turned into Hyde, I really liked him a lot, actually. And I was like waiting, like, oh shit, are they even going to show him turn into Hyde? Oh, this is going to get good. And then there was a whole scene where him and Tom Cruise are in this room together, and Tom Cruise doesn't give him his medicine, so Jekyll was going to turn into Hyde, and Jekyll's like, hey, you don't want to do that, dude. And he starts changing, and the door's locked, so it's just them in there. I'm like, oh shit. But then he doesn't change, like nothing happens. Like, he gets veins in his face and his eyes get dark, and he's just like, his voice, he starts speaking in maybe a different accent or something, and they start fighting. And he's not even like super big or super strong or nothing. Like, I thought he was gonna rip out of his clothes and be a giant, like in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like that. That was a scary fucking Hyde in that movie. I don't know if you ever saw that, but it's a pretty good movie. But that's kind of what I was expecting, him to turn into a giant monster. And he didn't. He just, like, I don't know, he got ugly and started talking a lot of shit. And then they started fighting, and he wasn't even all that impressive in the fight. Tom Cruise was fighting back and, you know, holding his own. So that was a letdown. So in the end, my conclusion about this movie, The Mummy, with Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe, is from the Universal Studios Dark Universe. Even the Dark Universe logo was boring. You know, the Universal Pictures logo. It's like the Earth, and then the word Universal comes around, and it's all like shiny and pretty and shit with like chrome and gold. After they did that, then another world comes around, and it's the same thing except it's dark, and it says Dark Universe, I think. Is that what it was? Yeah, Dark Universe. And I was like, that's it? I don't know. It was blah. It was blah. It was blah. What's this movie was? Blah. They tried too hard. They tried to make this something monumental, and they overshot the goal. And I can't imagine how much money this thing cost, or how much they paid Tom Cruise and Russell Crowe. I'm sure it was lots. Hey, good on them. They're banking whatever till the end, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like the movie. I just didn't like it. Hey, hit the subscribe button, please. Hit the like button if you liked it. more importantly, two more important things. Hit the bell button when you hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified of all my new videos, and I'm trying to put them out every single day. And share the video with your friends. Help me get some subscribers. Let me know you love me too, because I love you. In case you didn't know. Did I say that today already? I love you. I love you the most. You. Bye.